Hi everyone. Thanks for your help. I'm going to do a quick overview of the intake process, and this is a document here that you can find in the Slack channel. So we're just going to work through this real quick with a straightforward call. So first off, a call came in, and they left us a voicemail. So what happens is that voicemail then automatically gets routed to the generic Gmail account that's created, and the login information is in the intake workflow document in Slack. So what we can do is we can look at Slack. You'll notice we got a notification, a team notification, where you can either click on this link, which will allow you to listen to the voicemail, or you can come over here, and I would prefer you come to the email at some point because you're going to have to delete it. But you come in here and you can say play message. When we play the message, we find out that the person's last name is Test, and we've got a reference number that you can't read here, but if you listen to the message, you'll actually hear it. So what the next step is, I want you to come up into LGPass, and you'll have a generic login, which is also provided in the intake document. You're going to go to Mailing, and you're going to click View Mailing. And you can search by last name or reference number, whatever it is you want. So because we know the reference number was 1234, we'll just start there. You'll notice two people came up. The one that we're looking for is Brian Test, so we're going to click on Brian Test. We're going to click Responded. What we're going to do from here is we are going to create a new Airtable line or row. So we're going to click this plus sign, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the information from LGPass, and I'm going to go ahead and fill out our entry in Airtable. Okay, as you can see, I went ahead and filled out all of the information that was available to us. And if you scroll over, you'll also see that I included the parcel size, the original offer price. If there is a counter offer in either the call or the fax or whatever, go ahead and enter that in. And you'll also include the parcel number and the property county. Again, I got all of this information from the mailing info within LGPass. Once you have all of that information updated, you're going to go ahead and change this to initial call. Okay, so once all the information is populated, we will actually come over here to Process Street, and you'll notice that we have a new checklist under Property Intake for the seller that we just worked with. What you're going to do is you're going to click on there, and you're just going to basically start from top to bottom. So this tells you to go ahead and click on Property Info. So we're going to go ahead and click on Property Info, and what we're going to do here is verify that the information that we put in our Airtable entry is correct. So the owner name in LGPass is Brian Test. Sometimes we might get a different person calling. Sometimes it's the wife. Sometimes it's going to be a son or daughter. So you're also going to put in the contact name here. This is a required field, so even if it's the same as the owner name, you still need to put it in. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to verify that all the information came over and everything looks good. If everything looks good, we're going to come over here and we're going to make sure that we update this to initial call. We're going to say complete task. Once we update this to initial call, we're going to get another pop-up here in Slack saying that a record was updated and that all this information was sent over to Process Street. So once we see this, and once the initial call is updated, then our onshore VA is going to come over to the initial call script and work through the script. If there's any unique notes about the property, we'll put those notes here. Otherwise, you'll just go ahead and follow the script. You'll notice that the contact name automatically populates, as well as the county and state that the property is in. What you're going to do then is work down through this checklist, which is going to give us the information that we need to continue on and make an educated decision on whether or not we're going to purchase this property. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this out real quick, and I'll resume when I'm finished. Okay, so I went ahead and answered this question. Again, this is a pretty straightforward property, but if not, there are little notes, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So went through, answered these questions, which was they are the original owner. No one else is listed on the deed. If you come down here, if they're not listed on the deed and the person is not available to sign, the owner is not available to sign, you'll notice that there's a note here that says, thank them for their time, but go ahead and close. We're not going to be able to purchase this property. you'll see that note under a couple different options further down as well. If the seller counters, so right now we're saying that they just accepted, but if they counter, we're going to come down here and we're going to multiply the original offer price by 1.4. And you'll see that this kind of gives us an example of how that would look. So our initial offer was 10,000. They countered at 15. So if we multiply 10,000 by 1.4, that's 14. The $15,000 is higher than the 14,000, so we're going to not go ahead with the purchase. We're going to thank them for their time and go ahead and terminate the conversation. When you get down to the bottom, you'll notice that you need to update the intake stage and column in Airtable. So if the offer is accepted, we're going to say due diligence is needed. If it's rejected, we're going to say close terminated. Once we complete the script and we complete the checklist here, you can come down and you want to make sure that you do due diligence needed. When you update the Airtable entry to due diligence needed, we'll receive another entry here in Slack showing that the entry has been updated and we need to begin the due diligence process. The due diligence process will be covered in another short video.